Dreamers can't be tamed.
Oh.
I don't really think about it. I don't think about how people identify me, honestly, too much. But
how do you identify yourself?
Okay. I think I am a woman of color.
Okay.
Who is very family oriented and a hard worker and likes the simple pleasures in life with a good support system. And I don't know. Like food.
I think that's a pretty good.
I like travel.
You like to travel?
Mm-hmm.
Where do you like to travel?
I like to travel to places I've never been before. That was my bucket list this year, was to go somewhere I've never gone before, because I've previously gone to a few places multiple times, and that's something I told myself I didn't want to do this year, was to just anywhere I was going to go, I was going to be somewhere new. And I did that a couple times.
Where did you go?
Well, actually,
that was new.
Costa Rica in February, and I was going to go to Turks and Caicos in August, but unfortunately I had to cancel because of COVID.
Why Costa Rica?
Oh, are we ready?
Okay, ready. Why Costa Rica?
I ended up doing ayahuasca in Costa Rica, but I always wanted to go to Costa Rica because it's, a very beautiful country with a lot of natural resources and a lot of animals, and it's just a safe country.
When you went there, you only did the ayahuasca, or you did other stuff?
No, I just did ayahuasca. Oh, well, I did a retreat, and so I met a lot of people at that retreat that were into similar things.
Like but you didn't go out
not really
sightsee or anything.
Not really. Yeah. So even though we did see the local beaches that was close to the retreat, but we didn't do like an adventure all over Costa Rica or anything like that.
Because you didn't intend to go there for that.
No. But that was enough for me.
So you just went for the ayahuasca experience.
Yeah. I knew it came with it, like hiking, whatever it was. It was very leisure, other than the ayahuasca. I was very relaxed by the time I came back, and I think it was a good transition to what was to occur after.
Why did you make the decision to go to Costa Rica to do ayahuasca? What was happening in your life in that moment that triggered you to make that decision?
Well, I've known about ayahuasca for a few years prior, and I never really thought that Costa Rica would be the place that I'd go to. I thought it would be Peru, because that's where it came from. But I had been watching more documentaries and talking to a lot of different people, my brother also, and then I did my research, and I found that in Costa Rica, they had like an all-inclusive package of, it would only be 5 days, or I think 6 days, and they have meals, and it's pretty safe because you have to go through an extensive questionnaire to even be chosen to go. You have to be in, professional or have the right state of mind. You could have addictions to things because they ask you that too, or any traumas. That's obviously like part of why people go. But they want to know all that just so they know how to consult you, and if you need any consultations prior, or if you're on some sort of medication that could interact with it.
So what was the reason for you?
For me?
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just like, I've wanted to do it for a while. It was not really anything in particular that I wanted to. I guess just for overall healing. I wanted to connect with a psychedelic, or it's not really a psychedelic. It has DMT in it. But I wanted to connect with a plant medicine that would help me connect back with myself. And I was very curious. I think that was the main thing. I was just very curious about it.
Did you feel like you weren't connecting with yourself?
I think I was, and that was just part of it. It was like, I want to do this because I feel so great, and I feel like this is something that I feel like I'm ready for. Because I told myself the year before I want to do it, but I don't know if I was ready for it the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, it was December 2019 that I made the decision. And I just booked it. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let me go. It was 5 days. 5 days, 6 nights. 3 ceremonies.
3 ceremonies. And what did you gain from it? Did you feel more connected when you came back?
Oh, yeah. I think oh, yeah. I think when I came back, I was very sensitive to a lot of sensory, just, I guess, different sounds and too many people. And I was I wanted peace more than anything. And I think I felt even more compassionate with people. Mm-hmm. It was very, I don't know.
Did you come back with like a new identity of who you were prior to the ayahuasca to who you are, or who you were after?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think I definitely connected more with God.
Okay.
God. So with that, my identity was a little more just, I think, more forgiving. Because before I was just like a hardcore, I think a hardcore, just like business person, like this is what it is and that's it. You know, this is right, this is wrong. But nothing is right or wrong. It just is. And you just have to love it. I definitely became a lot more sensitive from it.
More so you weren't sensitive before?
Yeah, I was sensitive, but I was more sensitive. I just understood a bit more. Just like why, I tried to understand why people do certain things a little more.
So you felt you got more empathy from it?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I thought of the people in my life during. It was all about the people to me.
Your experience?
Yeah.
So
I didn't have like insane visuals, like Alex Gray visuals or, you know.
I want to do ayahuasca.
Yeah, I recommend it. You have to, that's one thing I was cautious about. When I came back, I wanted to tell everybody about this, but I knew that not everybody, people would think I'm crazy, you know? So I had to make sure that I had my, not reservations, but just be a little bit careful about who I would tell. If people are interested in it, absolutely, I'll tell them all about it, but I'm not going to go and, you know, make it something that I would promote everywhere because people are not ready for it. Not everyone's interested and not everyone's ready, but I think it's one of the best healers.
Why did you feel people think you're crazy though? I feel like ayahuasca is like really accepted now.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
do you
I think so.
people would think you're crazy?
Because it's not that known. I think people in our community don't think it's crazy, but you know, if I go and tell someone randomly, they might, you know, they want to be like, what the hell? Is it like a drug or, you know, it's just recreational or you just like, I don't know, something in the jungle that makes you see things, but it's not like that. You tell people who are interested. And I remember when I met you, that was one of our first conversations.
Yeah, you told me your whole entire experience. Ayahuasca.
But I didn't tell you outright. You talked about it first, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you did. You
I remember you told me when we were on the phone.
No, I didn't tell you on the phone.
Yeah, you said
I told you I went to Costa Rica. Yeah, but I didn't tell you the reason.
And then I asked you if you did any drugs before.
Yeah, and I might have said yeah.
You said yeah. And
Done weed.
I was like, you know, weed and ayahuasca. And then I think when you came in, is when I asked you to tell me about the ayahuasca experience that you had.
I don't think I told you on the phone that I did ayahuasca.
No?
No. I remember you told me about it here because I forgot why. We were talking about Wim Hof and breathing exercises and all these things, and then you were talking about ayahuasca. And then I said, oh, cool.
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would do it in Peru?
Yeah, I want to go to Peru to do it.
Yeah.
That would be way more fun. But I also want to go see, like, Peru.
Yeah, I would go after all of this dies down.
Would you recommend doing the ayahuasca before or after? So if we go to Peru, would you recommend someone going to look and sightsee before the ayahuasca experience or after the ayahuasca experience?
Depends what you want to do. I think it'd be nice. It depends where you want to go to. Where do you want to go?
I don't know.
In Peru, okay, so it depends. It really depends. You could go before, you could go after. I think if you go before, you would have a really great trip because then you can have that in your experience. Wow.
Because I'm just saying, like, if you
doing the ceremony.
If you said that you were like sensitive to like sound, lights, and then like
you might be too sensitive after.
To go sightsee after you do ayahuasca, it might.
But you might But you might also appreciate it more too after. So it really depends where you go because if you're gonna go somewhere, I think it wouldn't matter either way because most places in Peru are pretty chill, unless you go to Lima. You go somewhere like crazy, but.
So when you went to Costa Rica, did you have like certain expectations? What you thought the experience would be like?
Expectations, like, yeah, I did.
What did you think?
I thought I was gonna see crazy colors and patterns, but I didn't.
And how did it like make you feel physically?
Oh, I threw up.
You threw up?
You normally throw up right after you take it or within a couple hours.
Really?
And it's not a bad thing. You should throw up because you have a release. So during the ceremony, you also have these things called, or the shamans that are there, the ones that were there were from Shipibo tribe in Peru, and they sang Icaros to you. And Icaros are songs of the tribe and in their language. And what they do is they try to match your energy while you're under ayahuasca. So they come to you at the edge of the bed that you're in, and everyone's just kind of like they're under whatever feeling they have. so you have to kind of be courteous to other people as well, because sounds could affect. Like if my water bottle fell at one point, and that kind of scared me, and the sound was really loud because everything's heightened, all your senses, so it kind of scared me. But the Ikaro that was sung to me was so beautiful, and it made me cry. And I tried to hold my throw up in at one point. I remember, because I'm like, if I throw up, you know, this wouldn't, like, all the effects would be gone. But that's not true. Everyone feels different. There was a guy there that threw up within 10 minutes, and he said he had the craziest experience. And then there was people who didn't throw up at all till the next day. I threw up always, usually at the end, like when we were wrapping up, or right before we were wrapping up, which is probably about like a 5-hour experience.
5 hours experience.
Yeah,
Lasts about that long.
Yeah.
And how's the come
Maybe
down?
5 to 7 hours. The come down, I slept it off, but the come down, you don't really feel much of a come down. It's just like insane throughout the whole. Well, okay, so at the end, you can go to the star deck. There's a star deck, and you just see the universe above you. And you lay there, and you kind of just like have your thoughts to yourself, and you keep thinking like, wow, this is the world that I live in. This is like, I'm part of this universe. I'm part of the stars. Like, you just feel so connected to everything. And when you throw up or vomit and you release, you feel even better, because you feel like I released anything that was not serving me.
Okay.
You know, it's different for everyone, and every trip is different. The first trip, I felt like I didn't feel too much. The second one, I was like tripping like crazy. I kept saying to myself, I'm tripping. Touching myself, touching my hair, my hands. Yeah, just.
You said that you fell in love with your hair.
I fell in love with my hair. I kept touching my hair, the ends of it, the roots. I was, you know, because growing up, I liked my hair, but it wasn't like I was in love with my hair. And people always would compliment me on my hair, but I really appreciated my hair in those moments. I was like, I love you so much. And then the next day, I remember telling one of the facilitators the next day about that, just like this overwhelming love for myself and my hair and my hands, and my skin and my family. And I couldn't make a fist either. And she's like, oh, you know, that could be, and I felt so weird that I couldn't make a fist, because I work out, I find myself to be a strong person, and, you know, I'm always kind of clumsy a little bit, and I feel like I'm, you know, so she's like, well, the reason could be because we find that we're not really soft with ourselves very much. You know, there's measurements for strength, but there's no measurement for how soft we can be, and how soft you can touch a bird or touch a butterfly. So it's kind of a reminder to be gentle with yourself. And that's something that I'll never forget, because I do feel like I had become softer with myself within the past year, just to be more compassionate to myself. And then my hair, she said, that's the tentacles of the universe or something. She said,
Avatar.
Huh? Yeah.
Like Avatar.
Like Avatar.
And they put their hair like into the horse and connect to the horse.
Yeah, you're connected to the universe. Like, you're just that much closer to connecting, because your hairs are tentacles.
It's funny that you said that, because you said in the beginning, before we started talking about the experience of ayahuasca and why you did it, you said like you felt like you were very business, very straight, very direct. So in order to be that way, I guess you got to be a little bit like tough. So you considered yourself like tougher before the experience? Like even when you work?
Yeah, I think I was a little tougher. I think I definitely think I was a little tougher. I think I'm tough now. Well, I have a business like mine, but I feel like I'm more vulnerable now. I'm a little bit more, I feel like to be a good business person, the people are business. So, and especially in HR.
So you felt like you weren't vulnerable?
I think I was, but now I'm even more vulnerable.
What's your definition of vulnerability?
I think it's just connecting or understanding people, making yourself relatable. I feel like having empathy for someone if they're going through something. I remember someone once told me at my job that I was doing a workers' comp case, and she got hurt, and, you know, my job is to just investigate it, send it to the doctor, send her home, follow up. But the way I did it, I guess she was very appreciative, and I didn't even think about it. Like how she felt like over the years, no one really, she said that the old HR manager was not like that at all. And I said, really? I feel like people in HR are usually very kind and very, you know, make sure that the employees are doing well. But I think that I told her, you know, I find my parents in each person. So, because that was something that really resonated in my ayahuasca experience, my parents, and how thankful I am for them. And as I get older, I try to make sure that they're healthy, or they've always been very healthy people, but you face that they're getting old and they're going through ailments and they're going through health issues, and so I see that in every employee that gets hurt. Like, this is someone's father, this is someone's mother. So I always take that with me and try to treat everyone as if, how would I want my parents to be treated if I'm not there?